What's going on my fantasy basketball fans out there? It's Waiver Wire Queen, and welcome to the Score Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's jump right into some sleeper guards who you should consider drafting when you are ready to draft in your fantasy basketball league. Okay, LaMelo Ball. Obviously, people were sleeping on Melo last season, and he showed up and showed out when he was given that opportunity. He averaged 15 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Melo is capable of averaging a triple-double because of what he can do on the court. He's tall as hell. He's skilled. He can shoot. He can rebound, and he can pass the hell out the ball. So he can do all of those things. I want to see Melo at least average a double-double in points and assists. And he has that opportunity because he's going to be the full-time starter. There is not any question on who is the starting point guard for the Charlotte Hornets. It is definitely LaMelo Ball. And they have added some pieces around him, which will help him get to that double-double with points and assists. He can improve his field goal shooting percentages as well. However, the 15 points, let's see that hit 17, and then I'm telling you, those assists, let's see that jump up to at least 9 to 10. There are going to be some nights where he's going to have a triple-double, and you're going to be like, hell yeah, I'm glad I drafted him in fantasy basketball. He can be your starting point guard on your team in fantasy basketball this year because opportunity is there. Okay, Graham is gone, and like I said, he is the guy. He is the starter, and he has the talent to produce at a starting level at this point in fantasy basketball. So if you don't get the top dogs, like you don't get Steph, you don't get Dame, Melo is not a bad option at point guard for your team in fantasy basketball. People were sleeping on him last year, and then the people who said I'm not sleeping and drafted him, they were rewarded. Don't sleep this year. If you can pick him up in the draft, you do so, and you're going to be pleased with what he's going to do for your team this year. Okay, let's talk about Spencer Dinwiddie. Missed most of last season with injury. We're not even going to talk about what he averaged last year because he really didn't play much. He missed most of the season. Previous year, averaged about 19, 20 points per game. He's going to be the starting point guard for the Washington Wizards, and he's playing alongside Bradley Beal, who's averaging 30 points and doing his damn thing. And those two will complement each other and make each other better. So I can envision Dinwiddie obviously coming back and picking up right where he left off prior to last season, where he's going to average 19 points, probably get you about 4 rebounds, maybe 5-6 assists per game, and he's going to shoot a nice field goal percentage from the field. So obviously, if you can't get the top guards, which sometimes you won't be able to because these guys are going to be going in the first round, prioritizing someone like Spencer Dinwiddie is a smart move because you can fill your starters out at other spots, which forward, center, and then consider Dinwiddie as your starting point guard. And he's going to produce because if he's giving you 19, 20 points and then giving you 6, 7 rebounds, 6 to 7 assists and 5 rebounds, 4 to 5 rebounds, that is good production from a point guard that you're not going to be picking early. You'll be picking him late. So good value. Consider Dinwiddie. Okay, let's talk about Jalen Green. Oh my gosh, the Houston Rockets, they are in rebuild mode, but I feel like their rebuild mode is on the right trajectory to greatness because you got Jalen Green and you got Kevin Porter Jr. So you have your backcourt solidified for years. Keep those two together. Jalen Green, I can envision him as being the rookie of the year. He's going to average 18, 19 points and maybe get you about 3-4 rebounds, maybe 3 assists per game to start out as a rookie. What more can you expect from a rookie? So a lot of people are not going to be checking for him early. So when you have the opportunity to snatch him up. He's definitely a nice player to have coming off your bench. And once you start seeing him produce, throw him up in that starting lineup. He's definitely a good player to consider for your dynasty league and fantasy basketball. So let's keep it with Houston. Kevin Porter Jr. is happy as hell. He was traded from the Cleveland Cavaliers to the Houston Rockets. Yes, Wall was there. Finally, Porter got his opportunity once Wall was shut down due to injuries, and he showed the hell out. He had some really good games, ended up averaging 20 during that time frame once Wall was out. On the season, ended up with averaging 16 points, 6.5, 7 assists per game, which is really good for a player who really wasn't given the opportunity to showcase his talent. He was given an opportunity last year to showcase his talent, and now he's going to be the starting point guard for the Houston Rockets in the backcourt with Jalen Green, who some think and I feel has the potential to be the rookie of the year, and who some may have thought was the best player in the draft. So Kevin Porter Jr. is a sleeper. He's not ranked as high. He's not even in the top 30, which is crazy. And I think once, he continues to grow and develop his game, and him and Jalen Green kind of get in there and get more familiar with each other, you'll start seeing both of these two rise up and have a better ADP. And consider him is all I'm gonna say. These two, consider them. You'll be able to snatch either one of these guys late, and you will be happy and be pleased with the production that you get from them, because I expect some great things out of them. They're gonna have a lot of opportunity, pretty much, and opportunity is important also in fantasy because you're getting the minutes, so you're able to produce. And both of these guys is capable of at least getting you 20 points per game, and then with Porter Jr., he's gonna be he's capable of giving you 20 points and then 7 assists per game, which is really good for your young point guard. So if, say, you want to utilize him as a building block in your dynasty league, then smart move. All right, and let's talk about another sleeper guard, Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson is with Utah. He's coming off the bench. He's always a candidate for 6th man of the year. He is solid, and he's really sneaky. I've been in leagues where he's gone undrafted several times. He's giving you 18 points a game. If you can find someone who's consistently giving you 17 to 18 points in free agency or the wire, that's really good production. So 17, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 2-3 assists per game is really good production. Is excellent production on the wire or free agency. So why not just draft him late instead of having to go through the hassle of trying to hope that you can pick him up, because someone else may have a higher priority in free agency than you may have, depending on how your league is set up. So you can draft him late because he's gonna be there. He seems to always be available in free agency, and I tend to target him and pick him up, and he always helps my team out, especially just coming off the bench. Remember, when you are building your team in a draft, it's not just your starters, because you have several things to consider: load management, injuries, COVID, so many things to consider. So it's not just about the starters. You have to build the whole roster, and that includes the bench. And he's a great player to come off your bench. And there's going to be nights where he may get you more points than your damn starters. So why not consider Jordan Clarkson? Solid player, consistent. It's going to get you 17, 18 points and 4 rebounds. That's great value off of your bench. If nothing else, when you have your starters off, put him in that starting lineup. He's going to produce for you. Consider Jordan Clarkson, y'all. All right, so that is my sleeper guards. Consider those guys. Hit that like button and follow the Score Fantasy Basketball Podcast for more. I'm Waiver Wire Queen. Y'all have a great evening. Peace.